pressed the button right and it fell off.
It's in the middle there.
Lock it and then press it maybe?
Could be my baggage, my loyalty that make me do y'all. Ain't tripping though, listen though, I don't really get this from y'all. Do my thing.
Okay, I gotta reverse out this bad boy. I don't want to catch this on camera.
Could be my baggage, my loyalty.
Okay, first things first, rules of the car. This is my coffee. This one here, my coffee. Ben's coffee. Don't drink that coffee.
I'm done.
I know you.
Al got an extra small and finished.
Oh yeah, welcome Al to the video. Getting the extra small here, times are tough. Anyway, Jay, so we're doing what's that called in one that he does? He does, carpool karaoke, that's it.
We're not singing.
We're not singing.
Don't sing.
No, that's another rule in the car. Only Ben's allowed to sing. The reason why we're doing it this way is because our videographer guaranteed no rain today. And
Weathermen are as overpaid as politicians.
so
That's
here
the
we are
reason we're in the car
driving
today.
around in the rain. So we've got some things to talk about, Jay, huh?
Yeah, how do we want to go into this? Current events today.
Current events, we'll say, what's happening in real estate.
So the market continues to be
Softening.
yes,
Showing the
but
signs of softening.
there's still push and pull in this transition.
Mm-hmm.
So we've definitely started to see some people hesitating with offers.
Well, we're now getting to the stage where you could, if you were looking at the numbers, you could tell something is shifting, but you're now seeing it in the sentiments of individual buyers when they're having conversations and they're making decisions based on these things.
Yeah, so we had someone earlier this week put an offer in on a listing of ours, and in negotiation they said, I think the market's going in the other direction, so no, I'm not going to move forward. So we're starting to see buyers leaning away from the FOMO and from the it's still going up mentality in their actions, which is interesting.
Hearing a buyer say that, I mean, really, we haven't heard that for the last almost 2 years.
For sure. So now that we're starting to see that, it could be interesting. And then on the other side, I called on a property yesterday. They were holding offers on the day before and just confirming if it sold or not. And they received 4 offers, but it, of course, did not sell.
So they didn't get what they wanted.
So there's still that side. Sellers still pushing. Now we're starting to see buyers resist. So that's kind of, in this 1 week, we've seen both sides of this now transitioning market. Before it was sellers want it and you either pay it or get out, but that was what it was, and now we're starting to see resistance. So the weeks to come, I think that resistance and that divide is going to get larger, and then as rates continue, that's, I think, the forecast. Now, in reading up on it, CMHC,
favorites,
our beloved government body with more goddamn information on the market than anyone, and the consistency of how wrong they have been is baffling. But anyway.
So to put that in perspective, last year, January 2021, they actually came out with a report that said that home prices would likely see a drop of 47 or 48% over the next 12 months. Unemployment would reach highs of 25%, and without government help, home prices would drop on average of 24%. I think that's what it was. And I mean, you ask anyone who bought or sold last year whether that happened or not, I think that's plainly obvious. In fact, it literally did the opposite in some cases. Instead of dropping 24 to 40%, it literally went up
yeah,
24, 40%. And I think during 2021, the highest rate of unemployment was just under 10% at its peak. Not the 25% that was guaranteed coming, inevitable, according to CMHC.
So again,
And
the government.
side note before I let go of that, when they brought out that report, I remember there was a lot of kickback, and one of their, I guess, leaders, you want to call it, came back and basically stood up for them and was very much like, was pretty aggressive with it, I think. It was like, you guys know nothing, we know everything, basically. And
Well, they should, because they have
yeah,
more data than anyone.
look how well that went down. But yes, please tell us what CMHC are telling.
So now they're saying, just a quote here from them, for the rest of 2022, we'll continue to see a high level of housing sales. But as mortgage rates continue to rise through 2024, which is a very big ask, we'll see a slow cooling of demand. This should bring sales back in line with recent averages. So I would say momentum of the market has reduced 20 to 40% in the last month since they started to raise rates already. There's no way in hell they're raising rates till 2024. They'll bring them up, they'll start to see the cracks in the system and the extreme slowdown, which has already taken place after 30 or 40 days, and then they'll dump them back down, is my forecast. But they're saying they're going to raise till 2024, and it's going to be, again, a soft landing, just a
Nice gentle ease down.
ease down, which they always try and do. But of course, as we know, when the government gets involved in anything, it's just bonfires and explosions. So this is going to be no different, of course. And again, in the last statement, them saying, without government intervention, always trying to, of course, give themselves a need, credibility, they have to be involved, blah, blah, blah.
They've just been so far wrong. It reminds me of the Bank of Canada comment that they came out with recently, and they said cryptocurrency isn't a way to avoid inflation. Well, it's like it's like a murderer saying, getting away from me doesn't mean you're not going to be murdered. Well, it kind of does.
It's literally the only thing you can do with your money to get it extract value out of any fiat government-run monetary system. But of course, they're going to say that because they don't want money outside of their system.
The people most afraid of what crypto can do are saying crypto is not good for you. What shock.
Exactly. So of course they would say that, but it's just, again, they're spouting to spout.
In side news, Elon Musk has purchased Twitter, or is in the process of purchasing Twitter.
Which
they've
has
accepted the offer.
The left-leaning people of the world up in arms.
So I've seen a lot of talk about this, but apparently Twitter's top lawyer cried during the meeting
because her reign is over.
And of course, like all the left are saying, if it's a private company, then it can choose whoever it wants to get rid of with no explanation. It can choose to promote certain things without promoting others. It can have an impact on things like elections, especially if Musk is conservative. And
exactly
it hides.
The way it's been, but on the other side of the fence,
exactly what Twitter is now. But there is a clause in there saying that either party can pull out if a better offer comes along, or the merger agreement is not agreed upon. But the party who pulls out has to pay the other $1 billion. So
just change for these people.
So it's even, is it Dorsey, Jack Dorsey?
Yep.
The guy who originally started it, he's came out and said Elon Musk is the only person who can fix Twitter's problems. That's the biggest problem with Twitter right now. And so
I think he's just got to say that.
He's very active at saying what else he doesn't take part in and what he doesn't like and whatnot. And he's actually stood up for him because, I mean, Elon has said all he wants to do is he just wants to make its algorithms more open. He wants to genuinely allow free speech.
Close down all the bots.
Yeah, close down all of the bots and all of that type of thing, which is fair enough. Trump has come out and said that if he's allowed back, he will not be on Twitter. He's starting his own one. Something Truth or something like that. He said that's where he'll be.
Well, he's not going to go back.
I still think he'll go back.
So yeah, that'll be interesting to see that unfold. Big world news at the moment. A lot of people complaining too, 44 billion or whatever it was. What could he have done with that money? Does it really matter? No.
Yeah, exactly. That $50 you spent on gas, you could have donated to some sort of charity. You
Yeah.
didn't, so
Exactly.
you're an evil person.
Okay. Some real estate news headlines.
Oh, your favorite?
Vancouver's massive, excuse me, Oak Ridge luxury project bodes badly for affordable housing. Naturally, it has nothing to do with affordable housing. Although, I'd be interested to know how much affordable housing the city made them contribute to give them the density they got at that site.
How do they define affordable housing again?
Well, it's got to be, there's a million different layers from social to affordable and subsidized and.
It's more of a rhetorical thing, but yeah, carry on.
But, you know, Oak Ridge was up there before things dumped and they were getting average in the luxury market downtown, averaging up to like $2,500 a foot. Oak Ridge got up to whatever 2,000 and something, I think, average a foot or something large. Don't quote me on that. They don't even have parking.
I was going to say, they don't even have parking.
And the story is that they figure by the time the project is done,
it'll be more like people be doing car shares.
Car sharing and all this.
Because isn't there quite a lot of car sharing parking spaces and stuff there, though?
There's parking on site. There's, I think, hundreds of spots. Again, don't quote me on any of this. But they're just to be rented out. So either kept by the developer to be rented out or with whatever rights to owners first or I don't know. But anyway,
Wow.
home prices dropped expected for Vancouver and Toronto in 2023. I think that's fair enough.
It's funny as well, actually, because you bring up the CMHC thing earlier and what they're expecting. And there are so many other studies out there saying about home prices are going to drop and it's going to see a substantial decline in terms of demand and things like that with the changes. So many counteracting stories in there, depending on whatever spin they want to put on it.
But you should, again, CMHC with the most information on the market real time should be the most credible source. And they have been the furthest from credible on every call.
Should be. Like Trudeau should be the man that we all look up to, and thankfully he's running the country. Should be's.
Here's what Canada's average home price can buy in Regina. Don't care. Vancouver Real Estate. Market downturn predicted. Yeah. Standard home in Canada now costs twice as much as in the US. Yes. Metro Vancouver's red hot real estate market finally started to cool. Kelowna real estate property tax increase. Canada has banned foreigners from buying homes for 2 years, but the measure is unlikely to cool the market. That too is common sense.
We've even spoken about that, haven't we? But
We have.
there's workarounds of that ban as well.
There's many loopholes in that ban. Again,
Waving
I'm
the wand
banning-
waving the wand over here,
Yeah.
while the sleight of hand goes on elsewhere.
that's all I got.
And that wraps us up for this week.
Just a couple little updates, nothing overly new or surprising, other than the fact that CMHC couldn't be more wrong with the most information in their back pocket. It's ridiculous.
Oh, we're almost at a point where it's okay, whatever CMHC say,
The
just
opposite
imagine
is
the opposite,
gonna
and then
happen.
that's what's going to happen. But I think that rounds us up for our coffee drive, whatever we want to
I
call
thought
it.
you were going to sing. Go.
No. I need to be paid for that. And you would not be appreciative if I started busting out spoken rap.
Just one line before we leave. Go. You brought it up.
No, it's done. It's done. You're not going to get that today. You're not going to get that today. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you for joining in.
Why wouldn't you sing?
Didn't want to sing.
One line?
Not in the mood.
Not in the mood. It's not like your singing is going to get any better
Could it be
if
my
you
bad
are in
jeans?
the mood.
That's your one line.
Could it be my baggy jeans and my blue tee that make me different from y'all? Ain't tripping, dog. Listen, dog. I'm always no different from y'all. Do my thing. That's my girl swinging. I'm representing thug. She's who I roll with. Watch them niggas that gon' love.